Today in this presentation, we are going to talk about consumer buying process. Consumer buying process starts with problem recognition and ends with post-purchase behavior. And in between, there are three stages: information search, evaluation of alternatives, and purchase decision. So coming to the first, that is problem recognition. Problem recognition or need recognition occurs when a person feels there is a need or deficiency of a particular product, or feels there is a problem which can be solved by buying that particular product. Problem recognition occurs. Problem recognition can be through internal stimuli or through the external stimuli. Internal stimuli means when individuals themselves recognize the need of a particular product. Say for example, if you are hungry or thirsty, the need will be generated from inside and you will feel that you need something to eat or to drink. External stimuli means when stimuli is provided from some external factors such as media or friends or family, etc. Say for example, one of your friend is having a particular product and you like that very much and now you also want to buy that product. Or suppose you saw an advertisement in the TV about a new product and you like that product very much and now you also want to buy that product. So this is how that need recognition has occurred from an external source of stimuli. After recognizing the need, now you want to search information for that particular product. And for information search, you have various sources available with you. These are personal sources, commercial sources, public sources, and experiential sources. Personal sources means you can collect information from family, friends, neighbors, etc. and you rely on them. So the most influential source of information is the personal source. Commercial sources are the sources in which you collect information through advertisements or from the salespeople. You mostly receive information from these sources. Third is public sources. Public sources are the mass media sources such as consumer rating groups or organizations. These organizations conduct surveys and critically review a particular product and give rating to the products. Then the fourth one is experiential source, in which you can yourself experience about the product by handling, examining and using the product. This is how you can come to know about merits and demerits of the product. So these are the various sources of information from where you can collect information about a particular product. Now think about a recent purchase which you did either in the last week or in the last month and answer the following questions. From which sources you collected information for the product? And secondly, on which source of information you relied the most? The answer to these questions will make it clear to you that which kind of sources you use while buying a particular product. Now coming to the next slide, which shows how our selections are made in the buying process. Suppose we want to buy a computer and these are the various brands available in the market. All these brands together frame the total set in the market. Now suppose you are only aware about 6 of these brands and these 6 brands will frame your awareness set. You will collect information about these 6 brands, and after collecting the information, you came to know that only 4 of the brands are according to your needs and requirements. So these 4 brands will frame your consideration set. The brands which are there in the consideration set, you will collect in detail or depth information about these 4 brands, and finally after detailed analysis you will make a choice set. Whatever brands are there in the choice set are very competitive brands. Competitive in terms of features, in terms of price, in terms of services, and you are very indecisive in deciding which brand to select and which to reject. But finally you have to make a decision. That final decision would be affected by last moment deals given by the company. So a company must identify other brands in the consumer's choice so that it can plan a competitive appeal accordingly. Many of times you might have answered such a question that from where you heard about our product. Such kind of questions are asked by the companies only to collect information about various kind of information sources which consumers use while searching for a product or while searching information for a particular product. Now the third step of consumer buying process is evaluation of alternative. After collecting information, you came to know about so many brands and you have to select one of the best brand out of those various options. For that, you have to decide upon various product attributes which matter most to you. That is, either you are quality conscious or you are price conscious or you are feature conscious. So you have to decide which attribute matters most to you, because your decision would be based on that particular attribute. Now, some people make decisions on the basis of brand beliefs. By seeing which brands are more famous in the market or what kind of beliefs people carry about a particular brand, they take their decisions and not through a proper evaluation procedure. Some other customers look for a total product satisfaction, because you can't get everything in a single product. All the merits and demerits would be considered, and then a final total overall product satisfaction would be calculated, and on basis of that the choice would be done. Now, while choosing a product or brand, many of the customer will decide on single attribute. Some of them will decide on the basis of more than one attribute. But generally, the procedure followed takes a form like this. Suppose this is an example in which a customer wants to buy a computer, and the 4 most important attributes are memory capacity, graphic capability, size and weight ratio, and price for him. What he did, he rated all the 4 brands on these 4 parameters on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 means lowest in that particular category and 10 means highest in that particular category. But in case of price, it is reverse, because 1 means highest price and 10 means lowest price. Now see, this is the weightage that customer has given to these 4 attributes. For him, memory capacity is the most important attribute. Then second number, graphic capacity 30%, size and weight ratio 20%, and price has been given least importance by that customer, that is only 10%. Now, on the basis of these importance percentages, the perceived value for all the brands would be calculated by multiplying this importance with the score of that particular parameter. So after calculating the values of 4 brands, this is very much clear that the brand A is having the most or highest perceived value for that particular customer. So the brand A is the best alternative for this particular customer. Now again, think about the recent purchase which you did in the last week or last month and answer the following questions. What were the main attributes, 3 or 4 attributes of that particular product which you considered while evaluating different brands? And what was the importance or percentage you assigned to the selected attributes? This will show you how you rated various attributes and how you made your final selection of that particular purchase. Now, after deciding about a particular brand, your intention to buy has been framed. But that intention will convert into a final purchase decision or not will depend upon 2 more factors. Those factors are unexpected situational factors and attitude of others. Unexpected situational factors may occur anytime. Sometimes you may need to spend that money on some emergency situations, and due to that either you need to postpone your decision or you need to cancel your purchase decision. Another factor is attitude of others. Others who are significant in your life, what kind of attitude they are carrying. If they are having a positive attitude about your choice, then definitely it will add on to your purchase decision. And if they are having a negative attitude, in that case, that could affect your purchase decision. And that effect would depend upon the intensity of their attitude and secondly the motivation to comply with their decision. Then coming to the last stage, post-purchase behavior. Post-purchase behavior consists of 3 steps: post-purchase satisfaction, post-purchase action, and post-purchase use and disposal. Post-purchase satisfaction is nothing else. It is only the comparison of your expectation with the actual performance of the product. If suppose expectation was 10 and performance is 8, you will be dissatisfied. If suppose expectation was 10 and performance is either 10 or greater than 10, you will be satisfied. Now the question is what kind of action you will take in case you are satisfied. It is either you will rebuy that product or you will spread a positive word of mouth about that particular brand. But what will happen if you are dissatisfied? Either you will try to abandon or return the product if it is possible, and in case it is not possible, you will take an action. Action could be public by complaining in the company or by filing a case in the court, or you can take a private action, which could be either exit option, quietly stopping buying that product, or voice option means warning or spreading a negative word of mouth about that particular brand and saying others not to buy that particular brand. Finally, after post-purchase actions or post-purchase satisfaction or dissatisfaction, you will use or dispose of your product accordingly. So these were the various stages through which you can buy a particular product. Again, have a reflection point and think about the recent purchase which you did last week or last month and see, are you satisfied with the performance of the product? If no, what action you took or you are planning to take against that dissatisfaction. So that's all about this presentation, which talk about the stages of consumer buying process and how we can associate these stages with our real life buying situations.